Another thing that, let's see, organization will help us do is it will help us focus. Focus. I've seen that comment on some of your responses that are some of the things that you want to work on this semester, and one of them is focus. So, again, organization helps us do this. Does it help us? Will adding, deleting, rearranging material will help us focus on the subject matter more effectively? Or it's not really for you, but will it help your readers focus on the subject matter more effectively? When we're talking about focus, we're not really just talking about you focusing on what you've written, but again, it's all about your audience. It's all about your readers. Let's see. How will your organization affect your accuracy? Or how about this? Are your paragraphs detailed? Let's see. Are your paragraphs detailed sufficiently to support your claims? And by claim, right, we mean your argument, your main idea, your thesis. Organization also helps with your clarity. How can you make your prose more coherent? And here's a great word. I love this word. Accessible, right? So they can find the information that they've read. And what's called economy. I'm not talking about, the country, a national economy, but it has to do with words. Words. Can you condense or eliminate wordy paragraphs? Sometimes that does affect our organization. There's just so much going on in one paragraph that the audience kind of loses track a little bit. So when you are revising, my recommendation is that first and foremost you're looking at organization. This is the first thing. Before you move on to anything else, you have to look at how your paper or how your text is organized, and then if it does these things to help you clarify, focus, help you maintain accuracy, is it clear for your audience, of course, and of course how you use the words. Look at the length of some of your paragraphs. So organization first, and then worry about style. So organization first, and then you can worry about style. Because, you could work on your style all you want. You can work on some of these editing things, but if the organization isn't there, you're going to have to change so much anyway, and then you're going to expend even more energy going back and editing all of that. So organization first. So, and there is a distinction between organization and style. Yes, they are related, but organization encompasses, such a large scale of activities. You're adding, deleting, changing content to improve its logic and focus. In style, you're just changing words, sentences. Okay, so to review, right? First thing in the revision phase you want to be thinking about is organization. Our key rules for organizing paper is one, it needs to reflect your goals, right? So let me write some of these questions down. I think you might benefit them. So your goals, what results do you want from, I guess we can call this, from circulating the document? What do you want to happen? So what claims are you making? What criteria have you set forth for achieving your claims? What do you want, what do you want your audience to do after they've read their document? Is your document clear about that? Of what you want your audience to do? And of course, yes, does your document reflect the needs and interests of your readers? Is it appropriate for your readers? Have you thought carefully about what they would need? A large part of building any kind of document and making it reach your audience is anticipation. Are you anticipating the questions, the concerns, the type of support that your audience is going to need to help you reach your goal? Anticipation. Anticipate what your audience is, what they expect. The needs. I'm going to add that in there. The needs, expectations, and interests of your readers. So much of your energy in revision is going to be dedicated to organization. Revision is partly a matter of rearranging sections, rearranging paragraphs to tailor the detail to the specific needs, expectations, and interests of your readers, to improve the logical development of your paper, to add or delete details for the sake of argument, for highlighting important details and important material, and we'll look at some ways of doing that. So the best way to do this, so now we know what organization is, or the goals of organization in revision, is the best thing to do this with is with an outline. That's why we outline. It's for the purpose of organization, for these things, for logic, for focus, for accuracy, for clarity. That's why we have outlines. So we'll get a little bit of work with outlines. Actually, I don't think this week, but as you start working with your own writing, we'll talk a little bit more about outlines. The goal of an outline is, yes, not only to maintain your organization, but to advance your discussion. It's to keep things moving. So often in scientific writing, we get bogged down by details. There's so many details, and they often end up being repetitive, or just unnecessary. And so outlining will help us see which of those details are weak, which are just not needed. Sometimes they'll cause these really long digressions that you don't even really need to help you advance your discussion. Everything that you should be writing, at least in the body of your essay, is to help advance your point. So here are some strategies that writers use to help do that, to help keep you organized so that you're always advancing your discussion. Let's see, strategy. So the first thing that a lot of writers do is repetition, or make use of. They use repetition. We repeat main ideas or themes, not details. Don't repeat details, but you always want to repeat the main ideas, the main themes, the main claims that you're making throughout. Not always, not in every single paragraph, but use them sparingly, and that'll help maintain the focus of your work. You'll usually state, right, the main theme in some kind of introduction, and then once or twice in the body, and then of course again in the conclusion. And that's just generally speaking. Most of the time I see a lot of papers that they'll include it in the introduction, of course, because they feel that they have to, and then probably again in the conclusion, almost always. But including it, integrating, repeating that focus once or twice in the body, especially if you have some major sections going on in the body, that'll definitely help your outline, help you maintain that focus. Something really simple that you can do to help do that. What's also great about writing is that you can use headings and subheadings. These are conventional, but in student papers they are underused. I really don't see them a lot, and these are wonderful, great aids that can help you signal the next topic. They help the reader assess, I guess, the logic and coherence if you give it some kind of title of the material that you're writing. They let's see, what else do? They announce shifts in the discussion. They often function as transitions. In fact, the headings and subheadings should come straight from the outline that you've created.